So I just simmed quickly 125 frames. So one thing you want to do actually, if you run it locally, it's you want to close Houdini once you sim, because if you're looking at my memory there, I already don't have a lot. I have only 12 gigs, but it's I'm close to swapping. So if I would go into process, and I can see here, see Houdini is using already almost 11 gigs of memory in itself. So thing to do once you're done simming, close it, okay, and just reopen your scene, because yeah, you don't want to have any issues with your memory. So I reopen my file, and I'm not really happy with the sim, but first I'm gonna show you something. I'm just gonna lay down quickly files up here. I'm gonna just copy the path to my display cache. So copy parameter, paste relative references. So I'm gonna just display this. So see, it plays really fast. I'm just actually going to go here in real time. That's how fast it plays. So if I made a mouse, like I'm gonna go to the last one I cached. So 125. We can see it's using only 152, okay, 153 kilobytes. If I look now at my high-res sim, we're going to see it's using over 20 megabytes. So what we want to do, that's why we want to use just a display cache like this, because now we're going to be able to work with that cache, okay, move it around in a scene, and it's going to be really fast. But if I would have to do it with the high res one, or even a lower res, but without compressing everything, it's going to be really difficult to work with, and it's going to take a lot of memory. So if we look at this, so I'm not really happy with that thing. It's not rising up fast enough. It just stays down there. So we're just going to do a few changes. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to go in manual mode. So down here, okay. I'm going to go back in here. So first thing here, I'm gonna scale the temperature by 2, so it's gonna be warmer. Okay, so it's gonna rise faster. And just a quick change. I'm gonna just change here. Okay, the lowest value here. Instead of being 0.5, I'm gonna lower it at 0.1. And I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna resim this. Okay, I'm gonna pause it, and then when I'm again at like 125 frames, I'm gonna look at the result and see if we're happy or not. Okay, so I just close and reopen Houdini to free my memory, and now if we're looking at that new sim, it's definitely working better. Okay, it's rising up faster. Yeah. Okay, that looks better. So now that I'm happy with this, what I would do is just run my sim, okay, let it go. And what I actually noticed, it was actually faster this time too. My upres sim was faster, so it might not take that much time anymore. I'm not gonna rerun it, okay. So, but yeah, now just run your sim, okay. And when it with those new values, okay, and when you're done running those sims, we're just gonna go and continue now with the setup of our plumes. So I'm gonna come back here, okay. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna get rid of that import up press because I don't need this one. Now this one I'm just gonna change a little bit of color just to make it easier to read. So yeah, look at the green. Oops. Okay. So now I'm displaying my low res sim. Okay. We can see it's really voxelized, like, because we reduced it. But that's perfect because now I'm really able to move around, you know, loading my caches quickly. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create here a new geo, and this I'm going to call it smoke column or plume, whatever. Oh, one, and I'm gonna actually leave this one here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back in here, grab the output, okay? Then I'm going to paste it as a reference. Again, try to always copy parameters like this and paste them as references, because you don't have to manually go in there and change it. And at least like this, you're sure that it's gonna match the versions and everything, you know. So I'm gonna call this one upres cache. Then I'm gonna put another file sub, and this one I'm gonna call it display cache. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna grab this one, copy, and paste it here. Okay, now I'm gonna add a switch. And I'm gonna just move them on the other side. So cache on the left and upres on the right. Select them both and plug it inside your switch. Okay, so now I'm gonna be able to just change the value here to switch from the low res to the high res cache. So now I'm gonna go up here. I'm just gonna put a new node. So I'm gonna lay down a null, and I'm just gonna delete what's inside, because I don't need anything in there. Let me go back in quickly and just go back and cancel this. Okay, why I'm deleting this, I'm just gonna show you why. I'm just gonna turn off this one and this one as well, and my emitter, because I just don't want to see anything like this, because otherwise I see the points and I'm actually surprised. Okay, let me just bring a new null. Yeah, usually you should see. I don't know if it's just my viewport. It seems to be my viewport that doesn't show up properly that cross, because you should see a cross, but again, I'm not surprised. I don't see anything, because yeah, viewports are a little bit bugged from time to time. So okay, anyway, I'm just gonna empty it because I don't want to have any geo in there. This is just gonna be there to store a few parameters for me. So I'm just gonna call this one control, and I'm gonna change the color to brown like this. And I'm just gonna go here and edit parameter interface, and I'm just gonna select all those folders and click on invisible. I'm gonna apply it, so now they're hidden. Okay, I'm just gonna add now first a toggle. So no, I'm not gonna do it like this, I'm gonna do even better. So first here, I'm gonna click on that small icon here, turn off prefix link parameters name, then turn off prefix link parameter label, and then turn off forbid linking parameters from outside the subnet. And now I'm gonna dive down here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drag here my parameter, okay, the input, and I'm just gonna switch here the type to toggle because we have only two files coming in, so you just need to have 0 or 1. Okay. Even no, I'm gonna do even better than that. It's gonna look nicer. I'm gonna use an ordered menu, and here under the menu tab I'm gonna, oops, sorry, here you go, put 0, and 0 is gonna be like display, press tab, then 1 is gonna be like up res. Okay, accept. Now I'm just gonna move a couple of frames like this. So if I go up, display my smoke column here, so like we can see it's all res, and if I turn it here to up res, just give it some time, there we go, and now we're able to see our up res cached. Okay, so as you can see, that takes a bit more time already. Okay, so that's why up, I'm gonna be able to switch here like to low res and scrolling and being able to see my cache. Okay, I'm just looking at something here. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm gonna go down here in my smoke column. I'm going now just to go here, bring a volume up because I'm going to change some of my fields. Okay, I want to have a better control, so let's make this gray. I'm gonna dive in there. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, oops, sorry, move this on the side. I want to be able to change my temperature, my heat, and my density. Okay, and yeah, to change the velocity values as well. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change a few things in here. So okay, so bind, I'm gonna bring in this, it's gonna be a velocity, so that's gonna be a vector. Okay, I'm straight gonna put down bind export. So what does the bind? It just allows me to bring in an attribute, do something to it, and then just re-export that modified attribute. Okay, so the name is always the name of our attribute, the attribute you're gonna change, and then vector. Okay, so now I'm gonna lay down here a multiply node, bring in my original velocity, and what I'm gonna do down here now, here I'm just gonna promote that parameter, and I'm now gonna adjust middle mouse on it. Okay, so like this, middle mouse promote. So in that case I'm gonna delete, so right click delete. So I'm just gonna click here on that small sphere on the left, and I'm just gonna rename this to vel parm. Oops, and this I'm gonna call it vel multiplier. Okay, so now if I go up, I can see I have here, okay, a velocity multiplier parameter now exposed. So there, float default is going to be 1. Okay, now I'm going to change, I'm going to do the same, but with the heat. I'm actually not going to use the temperature for now, so I'm going to again bind export. You can even select both together. Okay, and just type here like we said heat, so now it's gonna modify both here. Okay, and this we're doing the same, we're gonna multiply it, so just plug it in here like this. again with the mouse, promote parameter, select it and call this heat parm heat multiplier, and again default value of 1. And now we're going to do the same with the density. Okay, so we already have the density coming in and out. Okay, so whatever you do in a volume verb, make sure your density is always plugged, because if I would unplug it and I would display it, this time it worked, okay, because I had sometimes issues that I got some wrong values with the density if it wasn't plugged, so it might have been just me who did something wrong that time. Anyway, just make sure it's plugged. It's safer, better safe than sorry. So anyway, we need it to be plugged there because we're going to multiply this. And again, I'm going to promote it. And this is going to be density parm density multiplier. And I'm just going to rename this, the label, to velocity. There we go. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to bring that up. Oh, I forgot to change the default value for my multiplier here. Okay. So that's fine. Now I'm just clicking twice here on the corner right here to just hide all the other outputs, okay? It's not necessary, just to make it smaller in there. Okay, so now, oops, I didn't want to do that. Let me just turn it off. Okay, so let me just check quickly what's going on here. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's why. Up. Okay, I don't know, for some reason it just switched from density to position, so that's why I had that full volume. So then here, okay, that seems pretty good. So now if I just, oh no, I'm just gonna change a few things here. So float range, I'm gonna go put it up to 10 for the velocity. Okay, I'm gonna do it actually for all of them, just to be able to use the slider, not just having to type the values. So now if I change the density, we can see make it thicker, okay, or really thin and just dissipate completely if it's a 0. Okay, so this being done, now we're going to put a time shift, okay, and I'm gonna make this one blue. So use the preset I already gave you, okay, because this one has that expression, so it's already done for you, so you don't have to change this anymore. Now it's erroring for me. Why? Because it's just, as we can see, try to grab the frame 250 from my cache, and I just cached 140 frames I think now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna load my all caches, and so I already have 1500 frames cached out, so those are the ones I'm gonna use. So I'm just gonna pause and just switch this to my old caches. Okay, so I just changed this, so I kept here my 2 file subs for my new sims, and just loaded here on the side temporary my old caches, and it's using so the display one, and my high res is actually here, not a high res sim, so that's a low res sim as well. Okay, so just checking quickly something. Okay, so I'm just gonna switch again to display. Now I'm gonna go down here to my sim, and now it's not erroring anymore, even if I move around. Okay, because like I said, I have 1500 frames, so I'm able to play quite a lot with it. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna use a transform sub. I'm gonna start to build my caches. Okay, so I'm gonna press enter here. So now I'm able to move it around. I'm just gonna turn off that grid because that doesn't really matter right now. Just keep it there. So I'm just gonna go a bit further there, so I'm able to see what I do. What I'm gonna do as well, I'm gonna okay, see again, so these are defaults I have, so I'm gonna turn off those default disks, because that's gonna my defaults here are going to return some issues later on, so don't worry about that. Now here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna scale this one down, because again, it's already pretty big, and that's gonna be where the smokes comes out, so I want it to be a small container there. And let me just bring it back here. Let's put a camera. Okay, so if I put it like this, okay, gonna lower this one a bit there, and let's create a camera. So now I'm gonna just click on control camera from my viewport, just change the settings. Okay, I'm gonna make it full HD or HD 720. That's gonna be good enough, and that's it. So now we have a camera one here. I'm gonna bring my camera up here, and I'm going to dive down here. Okay, so now I'm gonna be able to kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna just see how that plays. Okay, so I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Okay, not too much. Okay, and I'm just gonna bring a null in here. Just gonna make it easier, cleaner, instead of having wires going everywhere there in my network view. Oops. Now I'm selecting all three of them, copy paste, and I already bring down a merge sub. Display on the merge, and now I'm gonna move this one around a little bit. Okay, I'm actually gonna zoom in. Okay, that's there. Move it a bit. There. Just playing around, you know, trying to get some more interesting looks. What I'm gonna change as well here, I'm gonna just change a bit those values here. So what I want here, we have nothing, so I'm gonna move this time shift here. So I'm gonna move this to, let's say, 150. Okay, so I get something there. This one I'm gonna move it to 170, and I'm gonna change this default value to 1.5. Okay, so now, okay, so now I'm just going to show you if I change those value. I'm going to select them both, put it to 1, so that's the speed it would place. You know, if now I would just put it at 10, okay, speeds it up. So 1 being the default value of the same speed, and then we're just able to speed it up like this. So for now, I'm just gonna keep it a little bit faster than what we simmed, okay? And as you can see, it's already pretty far in the sim, so that's okay. I'm just gonna go back to my camera view. I'm gonna copy this one. Actually, I'm gonna move it a little bit higher than that. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm already going to bring down another merge. And I'm gonna copy this, because what I want is to be able to have several layers of control. So this one are the really first one where I'm really per section going to put everything where I want it to be, and then per lower section, per mid section, and per upper section, I'm still going to be able to retime all of them and still move the entire block. And at the very end, I'm still going to have a last transform plus a last time shift to be able to move everything around and slow down everything in once, or speed up. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to build here on the side that really lower section here, and this one is going to be like that really fast moving. Let me bring the video back up. So I'm opening it here. So we can see it's moving really fast down here, okay? Rising up. So, and I'm gonna do it like this, okay? We really want to keep that small section here, okay? Being really small. And so that's what we're going to do just now. So here, I'm gonna just move everything around. I'm gonna keep it the speed. So first of all, I'm just gonna use, not to write a new one, I'm just gonna copy paste one down here, okay. And density, I'm gonna put it at 2 actually. Just notice this at 1, so let's change this at 2. Okay, like this. So now it's already denser. And here I'm gonna put a time shift. Oops, sorry about that. So right now I'm not gonna offset it. I'm gonna leave the offset at 1, or maybe a tiny bit more, just to be able to kind of see that. Okay, and I'm gonna transform all this. Again, this I'm gonna have to do it like this. Okay, plug this one in here, then there, and I'm gonna split this. So scaling this one down, I'm going to change with this. I want it to go more sideways, like if there would be more wind. It's gonna give me a better look. So just scale this like this. Okay, I'm gonna go down here, move a little bit around. Okay, so if I play this, okay, so we have already 2 different speeds. I'm gonna have to make sure that that's, no, that seems okay. For now, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna change this as well. Okay, so I'm gonna put another merge here. I'm gonna copy this 2 times. There we go. So for now, I'm just gonna offset this a little bit more, and this one even more. Okay. Just bring this maybe a bit more down here. This, oops. Next one. So that's kind of, you know, a longer process. Okay, it's just putting it where we like it to get some interesting shapes coming out, and I think these I can imagine. Okay. The other thing now, those time shift. Now that I've kind of see what they're in space. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I don't want them to be that close right now to each other. I'm gonna go here and put negative values to it. So don't worry if you don't see anything at the beginning. Oh, and again, now it's erroring. So what I'm gonna do here to all my files, I'm gonna change the default to no geometry, okay? Because I don't want it to crash like this. So yes, right now it's empty here, so we don't have any frames. Actually, this one has something because I'm already at 240, and actually let me change this as well to like maybe 500. No. Okay. I'm gonna save as like layout. Okay. So minus 300. This one is gonna be like minus 200. Okay. So at the very beginning now, I don't have anything here, but I'm gonna change this later with this time shift here. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure there's something in here. Actually, let me do it right away, so we're gonna be fine. So let's bring me that up. Okay, so now we have something from the very beginning. Okay. So if now I would play this, actually, there's just kind of like a gap here. I'm not a big fan. Okay, so let's maybe get some different values in here. No, that made it worse. So 250 maybe. That seems okay. So again, that's now you're gonna have to spend some time, you know, getting this the right values in here. Okay. So let me check here. Which one just disappeared? One of them just popped out. So wasn't this one? No, which one was it? Okay. Oh, yeah, right, because I have even more here. So actually, I'm going to speed that up, and I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so now we still have that gap. Oops, I just paused it. Wrong keyboard shortcut. So Okay, so actually what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna move these that far up. I'm gonna keep them there. This is just gonna be more like adding some details in there, you know, like this moving fire we get in there. Okay, just to have some random motion. So I'm gonna bring this one back down. Let me just display here. Up. Oops, wrong one. So I'm gonna bring this one here. Was kind of at 0, 0. So for now, I'm just gonna go like this. And just see what that looks like. Yeah. So it is a little bit going too straight up. I'm gonna rotate it a bit more. Like this. Okay. So yeah, so now it's really gonna be building all these elements. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause it. I'm gonna add an extra couple of layers. Then I'm gonna show you the values I had for this one and what I did. Okay. Okay, so I spent some time kind of laying out my lower section. Let me just bring that a bit more to the side like this. So again, we have that lower section here. Okay. So that's what it looks like right now. It's popping up a little bit, but that's not that bad. So then just move it around a bit, okay, to turn it. On the other side here, we have that upper section here, and when we merge them back together, so this is what we get, okay? So if I look at a setting, so first with the time shifts for the, no, first with the velocity. So I have here my velocity multiplier lower down to, sorry, 0.8, then heat multiplier, it's at 1, and then density at 2, okay? I have here for my time shift minus 350, sorry, for the first one. Then the second one, 450 minus 450, minus 200, minus 50, minus 400. Okay. And if we go here, we don't have only one volume VOP anymore for all of them. Okay, we're gonna have like different densities based on where in space that volume is gonna be. Okay, so if I look at them separately, okay, here, so this one is still at the bottom, so we're still gonna keep it with a high density. Okay, so it's still at the same position as the other ones there. So when I play it, okay, so then the next one, let me just bring here the container so it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. And I'm gonna template this one so I can see. Okay, so we have the smaller one here because the scale here is at 0.2. It's really small. This one is already a little bit bigger to overlap properly, so density is a little bit smaller already. Okay, time shift 170 and 130. don't worry about all those values. I'm going to give you all these files as well, so you're going to be able to compare it with your setups, okay? So then if you go to the next one, I'm going to template this one as well, and I'm going to display the third one. You can really see the shape building up here. Okay, scale again, a little bit bigger. Then if I go to the next one, this one still has pretty slow scale. So currently we are looking at -20. So we don't see it at that frame. Okay, there it is. Okay, so it's just gonna add more more interesting behaviors in there, because it's later in the frames. It's gonna move. We're gonna have some fast moving fluids in there. Okay. So let's see this one. So this one is again close to the other one, still with a negative time shift. And if I go here, okay, negative value, and then down here a scale of 0.3. So if we display them all, so I'm just gonna get rid of the template flags. That's what we get just for that section. Okay, so when I play it, so this is real time. So that's still, and then at the end down here, okay, we're rotating everything even more to get it like really that feeling of sideways wind. Because if I just go before, it's just still rising up quite a lot. So in here I just sped it up because that was the speed we had. Okay, pretty slow, and I still want this to be a little bit faster. Okay, and we see at the bottom it's like if it would be really warm, and see those were the one inside. I just showed you with those negative frames, gives you some interesting behaviors. So yeah, and then down here we're just moving it down, and I'm just gonna hide the containers. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same again. I'm just gonna pause it. I'm just gonna add the other section, so the middle one. Okay, so I've added the mid section as well. So we have the lower one here. Okay, now this is the mid, putting them both together. Okay, and if we look at it, we have only 3 caches there, so speed that one. Okay, density at 1, then this one density a little bit smaller, lower. So multiplier is at 1. Okay, we're not gonna go faster with those. And then in here it's just like a small time shift. Okay, with a lock frame, and saying if frame is smaller than this one, bigger than this one, just keep that frame. Okay, so if we just look at this, let me, actually we might not need it because we go just only to 500 frames. Yeah, would be if we would just use more, so just get rid of this. That was in my old setup. Okay, yeah, so now I'm just gonna add the final section on it, the upper one. Okay, and then we're going to look at the final result, how it looks like. So I've added the upper section. I just cleaned a bit everything, added those drop boxes. Okay, if we look at just that upper section, so that's the final look. Okay, so it goes a little bit slower like to play now because it still has to apply all those transformations. But then we see the density gets lower. Okay, I can just kill this. I don't need to have any expressions in there. Okay, now oops, just here, speed is always at 1 because obviously we can go slower than this, but that's fine, it's slow enough. Then again, apply some transformation at the end here. Okay, a little bit smaller, some rotation, put them back together, and then here we still have a final time shift. Okay, to control, so that like this, now we were really able to control the position of every single element, the speed of each of them. Then per section we're still able to change some of the retiming values, okay, as well as the positions like this. So we really have control about every single element of a smoke plume, and we have still here like a final global one, and we could add a transform as well just down here if we would have to move it around inside our scene. Okay, so now I'm just gonna move this. This should be here, same here. Like this, finally this as well. There we go. So that's our setup. Okay, so it takes quite a little bit of time just to get everything in place and with the right timings. So, but at the end, yeah, we get some kind of nice looking plume. Okay, so that was for this video. So I'm gonna see if I have to still clean something, but I think we're good so far. So the next video I'm gonna record, it's gonna be just to apply some shaders on it, some lighting, okay, as well, and then we're gonna render it and just put it back together in Nuke.